Throughout history, societies have faced challenges that seemed insurmountable. From political turmoil to economic crises, from social inequality to environmental catastrophes, each era has brought its own set of obstacles. Yet within the fabric of every society lies a remarkable power, the ability of ordinary people to drive extraordinary change, often not through grand gestures or dramatic confrontations, but through a quiet revolution, one that unfolds in homes, schools, workplaces, and communities. This quiet revolution is not marked by headlines or sweeping movements, but by the steady, persistent efforts of individuals and groups who refuse to accept the status quo, who seek better futures for themselves and those around them. At the heart of this quiet revolution is the recognition that change can begin anywhere, at any time, with anyone. It does not require a title or a position of authority. It does not demand public recognition or widespread acclaim. Instead, it relies on the courage to question, the creativity to innovate, and the compassion to include. In the face of societal challenges, be they prejudice, poverty, or pollution, quiet revolutionaries are those who look beyond the surface, who see not just problems but possibilities. Consider the realm of education. Around the world, access to quality education remains a persistent challenge, particularly for marginalized communities. Yet time and again, we witness teachers, parents, and students working together to bridge gaps. In rural villages, makeshift classrooms are formed under trees, with lessons drawn in the sand. In urban neighborhoods, after-school mentoring programs emerge, staffed by volunteers who believe every child deserves a chance to learn. These efforts may not capture global attention, but they change lives, one student at a time. The quiet revolution in education is powered by those who refuse to accept that a child's future should be determined by their zip code. In the workplace, too, the quiet revolution is underway. As societies grapple with issues of discrimination and inequality, employees and employers alike are reimagining what it means to build inclusive environments. Sometimes it is as simple as a manager choosing to listen deeply to their team, to recognize the unique strengths each person brings. Sometimes it is an employee speaking up about unfair practices or advocating for policies that support work-life balance and mental health. Over time, these small acts accumulate, shifting organizational cultures and inspiring others to follow suit. The result is not just a more equitable workplace, but a more just society. Environmental challenges, perhaps more than any other, demand collective action. But while global summits and policy agreements are critical, so too are the everyday choices made by individuals and communities. The quiet revolution in environmental stewardship can be seen in the community gardens that transform vacant lots, in the neighborhood cleanup days that bring together neighbors of all ages, in the families who choose to reduce, reuse, and recycle. These actions may seem modest in the face of climate change and biodiversity loss, but they signal a profound shift in values, a recognition that we are all stewards of the earth, and that our collective future depends on the choices we make today. Health and wellness present another arena where the quiet revolution unfolds. Across the globe, communities are confronting health disparities, from lack of access to care to the stigma surrounding mental illness. Here, too, change is often driven by those who work quietly behind the scenes. The community health worker who checks in on elderly neighbors, the counselor who offers a listening ear, the activists who distribute information about prevention and treatment. These efforts may not eradicate every barrier overnight, but they lay the groundwork for healthier, more resilient communities. What unites all these efforts is a fundamental belief in the possibility of progress. Quiet revolutionaries understand that change is rarely linear, that setbacks are inevitable, and that frustrations will arise. But they also recognize that every step forward, no matter how small, matters. Each act of kindness, each moment of courage, each refusal to accept injustice adds to a growing tide that, over time, can reshape societies. It is easy to overlook the significance of quiet revolutions, especially in a world that prizes spectacle and speed. Yet, some of history's greatest transformations have been the result of sustained, patient efforts. The abolition of slavery, the expansion of civil rights, advances in public health, all were built on the persistent work of individuals and communities who refused to give up. Even when progress seemed slow or invisible, Technology, too, has become a powerful ally in the quiet revolution. Social media platforms allow voices that were once marginalized to be heard, connecting people across distances and cultures. Online petitions, crowdfunding campaigns, and digital storytelling have democratized activism, allowing anyone, anywhere, to contribute to causes they care about. While technology brings new challenges, it also offers unprecedented opportunities to amplify the impact of quiet revolutionaries. Of course, the path of the quiet revolutionary is not without obstacles. Resistance to change is a natural human response, rooted in fear of the unknown or attachment to tradition. Power structures can be slow to adapt, and progress may be met with backlash or indifference. Yet, even in the face of adversity, quiet revolutionaries persist, drawing strength from their communities and from the knowledge that they are part of something larger than themselves. Ultimately, overcoming societal challenges requires both vision and action. It demands that we look honestly at the obstacles before us and imagine what might be possible if we work together. The quiet revolution reminds us that none of us is powerless, that each of us has a role to play in building a more just, compassionate, and sustainable world. It calls us to listen to one another, to learn from our differences, and to act with integrity and empathy. As we look to the future, let us remember the power of the quiet revolution. Let us honor those who work tirelessly, often without recognition, to make their communities better. Let us commit to joining them in ways both big and small, knowing that every effort counts. For in the end, it is not only the loudest voices or the most visible movements that shape the course of history, but the steady, unwavering dedication of those who believe that a better world is possible and are willing to work quietly and persistently to make it a reality.